Greetings, my fellow from Low Southern Thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful, swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date, Tuesday, June 20th, 2017. Summer solstice will officially start. Probably later on tonight or tomorrow. And supposed to be an actual ritual, satanic ritual happening in Denver with the so-called elites. It's been going on going on frequently during summer and winter solstice, according to Stu Webb. Of course, there's one Dave Hodges did a brief commentary on James T. Hodgson. He be considered a Manchurian candidate, and he did an interesting synopsis about the man's not really that intelligent and all that good stuff. And if you folks recall, I did an episode about him being an FBI asset. So, a lot stranger things are happening, I would say, correct? Absolutely. All right, well, I am at CJ's Java Lounge, which is at the Yacht Club, located at 400 Southwest 1st Avenue, Suite 1 to be exact, along the New River of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's right near the Andrews Avenue Bridge, the southwest section. For more information, please contact them at 754-301-5382 and tell them Loki Luck III sent you. A little cool mom and pop place. Trying to create some revenue. And if you want to have a little meeting or a little event, give them a call. You could, they could give you meeting space and all that. And they have some stuff that occurred, which it was, it's nice. And you can bring your dogs and your cats and all that. So it's pet friendly. Okay. Well, I'm just been browsing around. Actually checked out this interview with Harley Flanagan with Anthony Bourdain. And it was pretty cool because as a fan of Cro-Mags, I would like to hear the other side of the story as well. It has a book out too, which I should take the initiative of checking it out. And it was interesting about that the love triangle, many of us call it, John Paris and Harley. Even though Harley started the band, we always say respectfully, in my view, Paris and John did enhanced it. And I can say this, and even Harley admitted he was 100% innocent of his actions as well. And so did John, on his book, Evolution of a Cro-Magnon. If people are going to probably ask, we're going to reunite, this and that. I'm not going to make those statements, but I can always say it's up to them, and only time can tell. Okay, well, I just browsed through a few articles. I'll make this one brief. This one here came from Duran. I'd like to thank Doug Owen for Blacklisted News. I'm sharing this. This one's entitled The McCain Institute, funded by George Soros and Saudi Arabia Exposed, which is insane McCain. Yeah, the guy who has no grassroots nor any money, and the New World Order is his bed buddy. That guy. CFR stooge himself. It's written by Alex Cristoforo, which came out a few hours ago. And it says here, neocon Arizona Republican Senator John McCain made his own little Clinton Foundation pay-to-play scheme operating in the halls of the U.S. Senate. The Daily Caller investigative group has learned that in 2012, McCain turned over nearly $9 million in unspent funds from his failed 2008 presidential campaign to a new foundation bearing his name, the McCain Institute for International Leadership. I'm sorry, that's such a weak title. Hey, lead the way, guide the crew, into the pit we go. I'm John McCain, I'll show you how you do it. The McCain Institute for International Leadership mission is to serve as a legacy for John McCain, and it's dedicated to advancing human rights, dignity, democracy, and freedom. But many readers certainly are well aware that human rights and dignity are the furthest things from the neocon warmonger's mind. The Institute is a tax-exempt, non-for-profit foundation and has assets valued at $8.1 million associated with Arizona State University. Bloomberg reported in 2016 on a $1 million Saudi Arabian donation to the institute. The McCain Institute to date has refused to publicly explain the Saudi Arabian $1 million contribution. The McCain Institute's donors list gets more nefarious with more digging, as revealed by Daily Caller, linking John McCain to regime change globalists like Jorge Soros. I say Jorge, like Jorge. Exactly. Critics worry that the Institute's donors and McCain's personal leadership in the organization's exclusive Sedona Forum bear an uncanny resemblance of the glitzy Clinton Global Initiative, or CGI, that annually commingled special interests and powerful political players in the alleged pay-to-play schemes. The Institute has accepted contributions as much as $100,000 from billionaire liberal activist funder George Soros and from Teneo, for a profit company co-founded by Doug Bann, former President Bill Clinton's bag man. Teneo has long helped enrich Clinton through lucrative speaking and business deals. The McCain-Soros friendship runs deep and may help to explain why Republican neocon McCain appears to always be politically aligned with globalist neoliberal Soros. Think Ukraine, Syria, and Russian sanctions. Oh, how coincident. What a coincidence, right? McCain and Soros reportedly became friends after the senator was exposed as a member of the Keating Five during the savings and loan industry scandal during former President George Herbert Walker Bush's administration. As the S&L Bank chairman, Charles Keating paid $1.3 million to bribe 5 members of Congress to interfere with government regulators on behalf of the savings bank. The experience, though, scarred McCain that he became a vigorous advocate of campaign finance reform and in the process reportedly became friends with Soros. How sweet it is. The Daily Caller reports that in addition to donations made by the Saudi dictators and George Soros, the man widely held to be the architect behind the 2014 neo-Nazi coup in Ukraine, McCain has accepted large amounts from various groups working to shape U.S. foreign policy. In addition, the Institute has taken at least $100,000 from Moroccan state-run company tied to repeated charges of worker abuse and exploitation. The McCain Group has also accepted at least $100,000 from the Pivotal Foundation, which was created by Francis Najhafi, who owns Pivotal Group, a private equity and real estate firm. The Pivotal Foundation has the last 3 years given $205,000 to the National Iranian American Council, which has been a vocal advocate for the Iranian nuclear deal the Obama administration negotiated. This is a very real conflict of interest. Craig Holman, a government affairs lobbyist at Public Citizen, told the DCNF. This is a similar type of pattern we received with the Clinton Foundation, in which foreign governments and foreign interests were throwing a lot of money in hopes to trying to buy influence. Lawrence Noble, general counsel for the Campaign Legal Center, told the DCNF that accepting contributions in the name of a sitting senator like McCain raises troubling issues. In terms of the ethics of it, it does raise a broad question of people trying to get goodwill with the elected official, he said. From a personal standpoint, I'd rather not see these entities exist. McCain recently stated that he had no involvement with the Institute, saying, "I'm proud that the Institute is named after me, but I have nothing to do with it." I'm so sorry I have to laugh, my friends, because you know why? He's the one that wants to go after Trump this, Trump that, Trump this. He said he's unfit, but John McCain is a true man of human rights and freedom and democracy. it was okay to be lovey-dovey with ISIS and spread his butt cheeks to the New World Order, including one of their entities and sidekicks, Jorge Soros. When will you folks out there gonna realize you can't focus on one person? This is why I had to read this, because you got all these asswipes from both sides of the paradigm, the partisan paradigm, claim that the president's unfit, but they all think they're squeaky clean, right? Come on. And what's really intriguing, how come the lamestream news is not bringing this up? Because they sold their souls as well. It was insane McCain. And it was fascinating because even with the Daily Caller, let's take a little glimpse, see what they got here. What they do is it's totally insane. So I think this is fantastic because it exposes these parasites that they are. And the truth of the matter is, he is a CFR stooge. Okay, this came out 10:53 p.m. and he's being in denial. Well, Richard Pollock, the reporter, put this out. So you have to really get this a lot more thoroughly. So I'm just trying to see what we got here. Yeah, that's that right there. Let's go a little further. This is interesting. Let's go a little further. Yeah, I'm gonna continue on here about the play for schemes and all that. And as it reads, okay, it's almost the same. Everything's red here. It's about the Hanoi Hilton, like McCain, a former Navy pilot who was shot down in northern Vietnam in 1967 and was in prison of war in the infamous Hanoi Hilton until 1973. It's a major political force in Washington. All right, we can just go on. Got him with the whole Moroccan thing and the NAIAC. Conflict of interest, liberal consumer advocate. Yeah, okay, Ralph Nader found this. So, but it's just something else, man. Last week, a South African court ruled in favor of the seizure of the OCP ship charged with illegally carrying 50,000 tons of phosphate from the Western Sahara. The country's independence movement, which calls the territory the Sharia Arab Democratic Republic, succeeded in convincing the court to keep the ship in port until the case is resolved. And, of course, the King of Morocco was a major donor to the Clinton Foundation. Hillary Clinton personally accepted $12 million from the king, returned for a holding CGI regional meeting in the country. So you just put that link on the Daily Caller. You get this here. It says here, McCain has lavished abusive praise on the king, saying in 2011 that country was a positive example to governments across the Middle East and North Africa. All right. So, and of course, it goes on here. He claims no involvement. The institute did not respond to requests for a dollar amount of high donors when donations were made. If the strings were attached to the contributions, claiming it did not have any information. Late Monday, Institute spokesman refers to DCNF to Arizona State University. So, how long will this chips? How deep this rabbit hole goes? Well, I can say this: John McCain is a complete hypocrite, washed-up neocon hack based on his actions as a senator. So I don't want to hear. I'm tired of people trying to defend him. He was a POW in Vietnam. Okay, I'm talking about him as an elected servant, so-called servant. Okay, but he's just another bend of a bob to New World Order, which I have no shame or regret saying. His ethics are weak, pathetic, in other words, blasphemous. Just another example why this man needs to go and possibly be indicted for RICO, racketeer, whatever you want to call it, and go through judicial due process. All right, just another example. Like people say, Hillary for prison, add McCain to that list as well. All right, so how far this gets exposed? All these folks with this bare ass being stripped naked. All right, well, next one here is pretty interesting. Came out yesterday by J.D. Hayes. Natural News picked this up. It was here several states set to collapse under crushing weight of bankrupt pensions, with Illinois become the first. And it says for years, founder editor Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, has warned Americans that warning had more Americans that many of the nation's public sector pensions are underfunded by hundreds of billions of dollars and on a course to collapse. In 2013, Adams warned police officers, firefighters, and teachers, and others who work for government entities that unless funding mechanisms and payout schedules change, the pension would be gone in a few years. Refinance the city of Detroit's bankruptcy. Adams wrote, the larger problem in municipalities all over America, across the country, city governments have spent the pension funds instead of saving them. Almost no large city has the fund necessary to pay its obligations to retirees. Pension financial planning strategies are tragic nightmares of broken promises, dishonest politicians, and delusional workers who will still somehow believe they're going to get paid. A year and a half later, in December 2014, Adams noted that underfunded pensions were set to make a new economic hit as Congress considered legislation that would allow local governments to arbitrarily cut the benefits of retirees, many of them who are on fixed incomes. Citing a Washington Post story dealing the plan, Adams wrote, "It's precisely what I've been long warned that natural news was coming, and this is merely the very beginning of the true destruction of the financial collapse headed our way. When the next market crash arrives, billions of dollars in retirement funds will be destroyed virtually overnight. Pension funds nationwide will be wiped out." He followed up that warning with a prediction 2 years later that came true. The city of Dallas would have to freeze pension benefits lest the fund go completely broke, suspending withdrawals from police and fire and police pension systems to prevent insolvency. Now it seems even entire states are about to be consumed by broke pension funds. Illinois could be the first. And there's a link on that too. Leicester City runs on the brink of financial collapse thanks to massive debt. The land of Lincoln has been wrestling with underfunded pensions and overpromised benefits now for years. But in recent months, the situation has gotten so bad that Illinois could be the first U.S. state to declare bankruptcy. Political stalemate. The legislature is dominated by Democrats, and the governor, Bruce Rauner, is a Republican who won office in a large part on a promise of reforming benefits and stopping the bleeding. It's not helping. There is no agreement from either branch on how best to move forward, and neither side appears willing to give in. We're like a banana republic. We can't manage our money, said Rauner, as reported by CBS News, after the legislature failed to pass a full 2017 budget earlier this month. Moody's Investor Service, a ratings agency, downgraded Illinois' general obligations bond earlier this month to the lowest ratings, referencing the state's growing piles of unpaid bills and skyrocketing pension debt. The state has the lowest credit rating in the entire country. Lower credit ratings make borrowing money even more expensive because of riskier bets mean higher interest rates. The legislative gridlock has sidetracked efforts not only to address pensions needs, but also achieve fiscal balance, allowing a backlog of bills to approach $15 billion, or about 40% of the state's operating budget. Moody's noted in an analysis, the state's poor fiscal health has prompted some to compare it to cash was strapped Puerto Rico, which is facing historic reconstructing of its massive $7 billion in debt. Both are also like that they suffer from pension crisis, CBS News reported further. So, how did the state's pension balloons into such a crisis? First, the pension problem has been a long time in the making. The state has more than 660 government pension funds, which are sometimes called defined benefit plans because they promise the workers will receive a specific pension when they retire. But critics say somehow those pensions carry overly optimistic assumptions, especially given periods of market turmoil like the global financial crisis, which ate into investment returns. Worse, the legislature did not require itself to fully fund pensions, meaning tax revenues directed to other line items such as infrastructure and schools. The fiscal tsunami is being repeated all over the country. Illinois, should it go bust, won't be the last to do so. Many cities will follow, as Adams has foretold. And it's interesting because there's a couple of sources, even on CBS News, And because I've been like looking at these areas myself, and it's some of these states or actually cities are a cluster, and it's totally insane. All right, and man, I'll just look at this is right here. But one of the links came from the Fiscal Times, and they even talk about not the states but the cities themselves. 116 cities ranked, okay, and believe it or not, and they give you all the methodology. And right now, the top five, six states, the six cities are actually in California with fiscal strength scores: Irving, Fontana, Moreno Valley, Huntington Beach, Santa Ana, and Glendale. And Boston is like number 7, so a little bit more fiscally controlled too, which is amazing. That's a pretty big city. And of course, Boise, Idaho is in 10, and it goes down to Oklahoma City. And of course, Las Vegas is 29 with 81%. And of course, Miami's 38 with 74%. So they could always go better themselves, but it can go all the way down when like the New York City, I think New York City and Chicago, of 116 cities, they were like the lowest, including Toledo. Like St. Louis is 112 with 37, Reno, Nevada 113 with 36, Toledo, Ohio 114, 36. That's like a rusted state. 115 is New York City with 26, and 116 Chicago, Illinois with 25. So this is very scary. And if you look at the financial health of all 50 states, well, under Fiscal Times, it actually came out on June 1st. Oh, interesting. So, and of course, Puerto Rico is actually the bottom of the barrel. And when you go further up on financial health, financial health, I got to see Connecticut, and it just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to leave that under 50 states. So you can put that. I'll put that as my footnotes. But it's really disheartening to see this. So I want to see what I can do with this here. But let me just see here. What's number one? Or the top 5 states, I would say. They're not going to give it to me. I have to really look into this a little bit more. But it's a real shame when you look at this. This is on March. Oops, shoot, my mistake here. Back. Yeah, so you have to always. I'll definitely. I recommend it that you folks look at these financial health in all 50 states. It is essential, I would say. All right. Ooh, wait. Ooh, where are ya? What the hell? Yeah, it looks like they'll give me a runaround here. They don't want me to put the information out. Screw this guy. Just screw him over. Yeah, Puerto Rico's way in the bottom of the barrel, so they're going to tease me not to make this happen, but they tell you the whole methodology and the full report and all that good stuff. But definitely, ooh, interesting. All right, wow, believe it or not, the state of Florida is ranked number 6 on fiscal condition, and of course, New York is 42. California's 44. Connecticut's 50. Of course, Puerto Rico. The number 1 state And on fiscal responsibility is Alaska. So that's pretty interesting stuff here. So the ranking by fiscal condition, 2016 edition. So this is this is from 2016. So yeah, definitely check this out. I will definitely add these on my footnotes because it may change any time. But Illinois is in it could be in dire straits as well. And Utah is ranked 7, Oklahoma is ranked 8, and a lot of the states are like in there. So you gotta give, even though I'm real critical of Governor Rick Scott, it's not gonna be perfect, but you gotta fiscally responsibility is good. And Wyoming's 3, Nebraska's 2, North and South Dakota are 4. North Dakota's 4, South Dakota's 5, and Florida's 6. So you gotta, in those areas, you gotta give it some credit. It's not gonna be perfect. So you can't really complain about the state of Florida on its fiscal conditions. So yeah, definitely leave this on here because hey, you hear a lot of gossip and so forth. We've got some merit to back it up. And yeah, finally here I'll be doing. This is one interesting thing about nanny states. Okay, I got this from David Icke, and it came out earlier today. It says here, mother refused to send her children to school in 91.5 degree Fahrenheit heat wave because teachers will not let them take their blazers off. A mother has refused to send her children to school because of the strict uniform policy, which require them to wear their blazers despite 9.5 degree Fahrenheit heat wave. Sabrina Fitzman from Barmouth refused to send son Jack, 14, and daughter Caitlin, 15, to Winston and Glenmore schools because of the blazer policy. In this heat, children are expected to wear their blazers. I feel this poses a significant risk to their health, she said. She decided to keep them at home after Caitlin complained of headaches and nausea due to the heat last week. She phoned reception yesterday morning for the policy on blazers and said she told pupils are expecting to wear their jackets at the school. She said teachers decided if students can take off their blazers in class, but the teachers are in their light clothing, dictating to the pupils that if they remove their blazers, they face isolation, so they'd be punished. How is this even allowed? Surely it is the school's responsibility to ensure the safety of well-being of pupils. A spokesman for Glenmore and Winston Academies said during the hot weather, as what you expect, we are taking a sensible approach toward uniform policy and are not insisting that students wear blazers around the school. Students are, of course, allowed to remove their blazers during lessons and at break and lunch times. Meanwhile, the mother of siblings who refuse to wear their blazers to school as the heat wave hits 91.5 degrees Fahrenheit was left furious after they were sent home for breaking uniform rules. A school has been slammed after claims a pupil was sent home for refusing to wear his black blazer because he nearly passed out. Reese Wolf, at 12, was handed a fixed-term exclusion by teachers just minutes after starting the school day, along with 2 other pupils. The trio thought it was ridiculous to sport their blazer in the scorching heat. Reese's mom, Leanne Monkman, 36, claimed her son, dressed in a white long-sleeve shirt, black blazer, and black trousers, nearly fainted while in a shoe shop earlier that morning due to warm weather. Miss Mockman immediately told school staff that her son was feeling poorly and asked if he can take it off at half an hour to cool down. But she received a call just 5 minutes later saying he has been excluded, which she claims was down to flouting school rules. However, head teacher Dale Jackson stated no students were sent home as a direct result of not wearing their blazer. Instead, they were sent home for rude and defiant behavior, said Kingswood Academy head. Mother of 5, Miss Munkham, said her son has been issued a week-long fixed-term exclusion and will be allowed to return to whole school, East Yorkshire, on Monday. Speaking about the incident, Kingswood Academy head teacher Dale Jackson said today no students were sent home as a result of not wearing their blazer. 3 students were, however, sent home on fixed-term exclusions due to rude and defiant behavior. This type of behavior is simply not tolerated at Kingswood Academy. With regards to our uniform policy, students must wear their blazers when moving around the academy, through the corridors and open spaces. In the lessons, students are welcome to take off their blazers. Kelly Elderlin from Bournemouth sent children Lucian, Newton, they're both 15, Alarana, 13, and Tadius, 12, to the Bishop of Winchester Academy without their jackets yesterday because the temperature hits 28.7 degrees Celsius. So it's up there in the 90s, I would say, or high 80s. But they were promptly sent home by the teachers who ordered them not to come back unless they wear their correct uniform. Miss Allen said they were wearing their ties and shirts, but I told them to leave their blazers at home because it was too hot. And at 8:40 a.m., I had a phone call to say the kids were on their way home, even though the teachers had no idea I was home myself. I was told it's school policy that they have to wear their blazers on the way to and from school and in the school itself. Apparently, it's up to each individual teacher to decide if they can take them off during lessons. Clearly, what they look like is more important than their education. There is no available comment at Bishop of Winchester Academy in the Academy. Let's go on here. Come on. Shoot. Hate that. Yeah, sometimes signals get in the way here. Come on. Thank you. Let me just almost finished here. All right, looks like I'm getting a little on, folks. Come on. There you go. I'm almost done here, I would say. Right, it says here. All right, let me just, okay, have no idea. It was too hot. Of course, 8:40. But they were promptly sent home by teachers who ordered them not to come back unless they wear the correct uniform. Miss Adam Relay said they were wearing their ties and shirts, but I told them to leave their blazers at home because it was too hot. At 8:40 a.m., I had a phone call to say kids were on their way home, even though the teachers had no idea I was home. If I was home myself, I was told it's school policy that they have to wear their blazers on the way and to from school and in the schools itself. It apparently is up to each individual teacher to decide that they can take them off during lessons. Clearly, what they look like is more important than their education. There was no available comment at Bishop of Winchester Academy. On social media, Hucky999 said, I went to a private school. There was normal and even had to wear a hat. Kids are too unwrapped in cotton wool these days. Ooh, man, that's not good. But many moms said, absolutely ridiculous. A child's health and safety at school should come first. If the children get heat stroke, then are sick, they will be off for a minimum of 40 hours due to school policy, and then their attendance go down. Then the school moan about that, so let them keep cool and be comfortable. Long as other parts of the uniform are worn, what's the problem? So come on, head teachers, get real. Everybody's human. It gets hot, so be sensible. A frustrated mom said, that user described her frustration at her younger sister being forced to continue to wear her school blazer in spite of the blistering heat. User Kitby regarded that she was F off, that the teenager was being forced to dress in a full school blazer with her shirt done up, apparently instill a work ethic. She wrote on the parenting site, blazers on, this is a weather, really? Top button to DS, darling sister. School is saying it's to enhance work ethic and to get you used to work the place by following rules like these. And it says here, And they give you a whole rundown over here, okay, and all the comments and all that good stuff, button down too, and all that. So you read it for yourself. So she also recounted a similar incident last week when her sister had been told that she would be surprised for trying to take her blazer off in the heat, being forced to keep it on the rest of the lesson. The reply from the teacher was, "Now you've done that, you keep it on for the entire lesson." My mom and DS got an apology from the headmaster. A mother shared a similar story. Not Janie wrote, "My DS has had to go off to school in a blazer and a tie today. It's ridiculous. I am strong in favor of school uniform as it avoids the angst about what to wear. The basic uniform items like shirts and trousers are pretty cheap, but I also think there should be a summer uniform for polo shirts or short sleeve shirts with no tie, no blazer." And there's a lot of things on here too. Little commenting. Users commenting on the thread weren't convinced by school's approach, saying professionals rarely would work wearing uncomfortable clothes. No content chimed in. "It's ridiculous. I work in a professional environment, a law firm, and no one sits at their desk doing work in a suit jacket." User Rude Dog said she'd experienced a similar approach while working in education. She wrote, "I work in the school. I also have to wear a jacket until the head said it's okay not to." A teacher agreed that the blazer seemed ridiculous. Hesteron wrote, "Blazers are useless garments, not warm enough for winter, too hot for summer, as are ties. Why do they even still exist? Ridiculous, pointless emblems to signify middle class, subtly giving message that jobs where you wear ties are the ones to aspire to. Sod that." So it's like more like government knows best, school system knows best on this whole scenario. Train your little boys and girls like little kids, little androids or numbers, instead of them as human beings. More of a mind control. You got to do this for your own good. That's what happens when you have state schools and private schools. They try to make this happen. Hey, I would say this. Get clothes made of hemp. It'll be a lot more cooler and comfortable than cotton wool in the summertime. Give me a break. That is far ludicrous, as people think. So, oh my goodness. Oh, the school system knows best. Yeah, just shove a boot up their aim as far as I'm concerned. That's the only language I can really understand, which is a total shame. But it's another form of mind control, my friends. You gotta wear this or you'd be condemned. Well, school's supposed to educate kids, not be like little slave boys and girls out there, okay? So, but it's Britain. I'm in America, United States, totally different entities. However, you got to always examine everything a lot broader. All right? So that is all. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something that's interesting I'm going to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence with decorum. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, Scene.life, Minds.com, FutureNet.club, or Patreon.com /Local Third. If you want to donate money to me, you can. That'd be great. Furthermore, you can email me at LokiLuck3, which is LokiLuck, number 3 altogether, at gmail.com, or to you encrypted types, LokiLuck03. The number is 03. It's altogether at protonmail.com. All right, my friends, once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the maniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.